Colors. The things that partly make up the world that we live in on a visual scale. It's how we appreciate life as it is. It's how we can distinguish things from other things. It's how we're able to discern astronauts in space. Okay, maybe not that one. But take the simple idea of colors and fuse it into a game and you get something that nobody really asked for but is popular anyway? Or something, I don't know. Mascot horror games. They've been getting popular on Roblox over the past couple of years, but not just Roblox. Horror games in general, because of their massive mainstream appeal. A random day comes in. I was there on the Roblox games page, and I see a game titled Color or Die, which I believe is inspired by, or at least similar to, another game that I played in the past called Cheese Escape. Most mascot horror games on Roblox that I play end up being pretty uninteresting. Sorry, Rainbow Friends, but I'll save you for another time. While there are also rare exceptions for this genre, so I usually give each one a fair chance, but does it stand out from the rest is the question. I took a quick look at the development group that was called Big Works Games, and it's co-owned by 2 people alongside 6 developers, but the co-owner specifically is interesting. He goes by the user DoBig and is the owner of multiple game development groups on Roblox that all have successful games in them, like Race Clicker, Kart Ride Race, and yeah, there are other ones that I don't really want to list them here, but the point is, the people behind the game that we'll be looking at are a pretty sizable one. Will they deliver something groundbreaking to the platform? I'll tell you right now, the answer is yes, but not really, but more on the not really side. I think I'll let the game explain itself, so without delaying it any further, let's talk about Color or Die on Roblox. I joined the game and found myself to be in a lobby with typical Roblox gameplay features like a shop, a daily reward system, and leaderboards, yada yada yada. Nothing new to see here. When you walk through the door that tells you to throw paint at it, you are told to pick up another paint bucket that abstractly explains how hiding from the enemy in this game works. Based on the color of the paint bucket you are currently holding, you can hide on walls that have the same color as your bucket by standing up against it. This prevents the enemy on the map, represented by a doodle stick figure, to stop following you when doing so. Why does that happen? You try asking what was in the developer's mind when designing the enemy, since this game doesn't really seem to have any lore or story to it. It's all kinda just here. The main premise behind this game is to collect paintbrushes to reach the end of this sort of color maze that all the players are thrown into. There are obstacles in the way that prevent you from accessing certain parts of the map that require you to have some sort of tools to pass through. These items can range from a saw, screwdriver, plank, triangle, hammer, key, and a couple more that I don't really want to list. They all have the same functionality. Obtain it, find the obstacle that requires that tool, interact with it, and then move on with the game. And adding on to that, there are these doors that when you walk through, you will be teleported to an obstacle course where the theme of the map changes to all black with objects that have white outlines to see where they are. Other than that, these act as any other area in the game to continue progressing further. Once you've collected all the paintbrushes, you can unlock the door that requires them and go into another pitch black room where you unnecessarily have to walk a while to pick up the white paint bucket. And a message will appear saying, "To reach the end, you must seek the beginning." Wow, I wonder what that means. Now that you've obtained the final colored paint bucket in the game, it is time to go back to the lobby and open up the white door to reach the final part of the game. When doing so, you will have 4 doors to walk into, and you can only pick one. Once you do, you'll be given a randomly timed challenge that varies in difficulty depending on which one you do. Okay, I'll be honest, every time I've done one of these, they've been relatively easy, so I've had no issues with doing them. But just why? Why does this have to be the last thing you do in the game? Why pick among 4 doors when I could just have one that randomly picks a challenge for me? But anyway, beat the challenge successfully and you earn a win, which could be spent on cosmetics in the game's shop, like trails, paint bucket skins, and pets, but who knows what they do. What we've looked at is the main game itself. There are additional features to the game, like becoming the monster itself. But when I was recording this about a month ago, this feature was not here since a new update for the game dropped that made minor enhancements to the game that I don't really want to cover in this video. I just want to take the time to address some issues that I had with the game when I was playing through these chapters and leave it at that. We know about the Fancy Pants guy, and we probably guessed that it's the mascot slash main enemy for this game since it's literally in the icon and thumbnails and even the trailer. But depending on what chapter you play, since the game offers 3 chapters as of recording, it's the same Fancy Pants man, just with a slightly altered redesign with no changes to its AI whatsoever. It's the same slow, easy to avoid enemy throughout the entire game. This enemy sucks, to put it that way, for a couple of reasons, and I don't mean it in the challenging context. It's just plain up bad. The enemy is way too easy to avoid. All its AI does is walk around the map and chase players who are not hiding. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that its pathfinding can find a player no matter where they are in the open parts of the map, so it doesn't have to quote-unquote see the player to chase after them. You can hide on the walls if you have a paint bucket color that matches yours to lure it away. There are also small crevices that you can pass through that it can't. And don't forget about the many areas in the game that the monster just can't access at all. The issue is, I don't see the monster as a threat at all. I just see it as a distraction, and that isn't a very well-designed enemy that is supposed to represent the main enemy in the game. Speaking of main enemy, Fancy Pants is the only enemy in the game. Okay, apart from that one random enemy that is introduced only in Chapter 2, that when it touches you, it strips your color away despite having a paint bucket to prevent you from hiding on the walls. Oh no, what am I gonna do about that? You see, that's the thing. There are a lot of times in the game where I don't have a paint bucket color, mainly because I used it to open a door and I'm holding a tool that helps me access another area in the game. So a lot of the time, I don't even play the game using the main mechanic itself, which is hiding on walls. There was actually a point where I just forgot hiding on walls was an option because it's just so unnecessary. There are a lot of features that are in the game that I guess work, but thinking about it, I don't believe it's a system that was well thought out, and the developers need to figure out what they can do to the base gameplay to make it more fun. Okay, but I think that's enough about me ranting, so let's conclude my thoughts on the game. Color or Die has a very linear formula that plays out for the entirety of the game. Grab a paint bucket with a specific color, find and open the colored door that matches your paint bucket color, either get a new paint bucket color to find the next door, get a tool to unlock another area, or find a door to get teleported to do another obstacle course. I don't think there's a problem with a super linear gameplay mechanic like this, but I feel like the constant cat and mouse chase while slowly inching your way towards the end isn't a game that's worth playing the whole way through for a lot of people. But I guess the game is short enough to where it is engaging to finish all the way until the end. If the game makes the main mechanic of the gameplay optional, then it doesn't seem like a well thought out game idea. And to a lot of people, it just somehow works. But to me, I don't think it really does. But to give credit where it's due, there is a widespread appeal to a game with simple gameplay, and this game fits that archetype. It has a theme primarily about colors that it's stuck to, and it's a game that will keep you entertained for a little bit. And my suspension of disbelief would tell me that it is a playable game at the end of the day. We just played a popular Roblox game that honestly doesn't really provide anything special to the platform, but is still enjoyable to play until you reach the end, since it is very short and very easy. But I feel like the problem with current Roblox mascot horror games is that despite them being pretty alright games, the developers make them too easy to complete, like Color or Die. My favorite Roblox horror game is Doors, not only because I think it perfectly encapsulates a mascot horror game with really polished and simple gameplay, but also the fact that they make the game challenging to add replayability to it. I've done streams on trying to beat their super hard mode difficulty, and it was probably the most fun I've ever had playing a Roblox horror game.
Interesting. Oh! Oh my god, that scared me. Oh my god. No! What the? Oh my god!
The things I love about some mascot horror games are the super challenging aspects of them that are beaten through trial and error, like Five Nights at Freddy's 420 or 1020 modes. We need more challenging Roblox horror games. I'm here to play a manly man's difficulty, not a baby's baby challenge. You get the idea. But with that, I guess I'll leave it here. If you want to spend the next couple of hours as a way to pass time, feeling like you're getting something done, then you can play Color or Die. But there are definitely other Roblox horror games that I would personally pick over this one. This has been Brawl Battle talking about Roblox Color or Die, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.